Hello, Lisa here. Welcome back to my channel. Welcome if this is your first time stopping in. Today we are going to be doing a recent deck roundup. So this is the video where I share with you all the new things that have come into my collection since the last time I made one of these videos. So that's what we're going to be getting into today. So I've got a little pile of things next to me. Some of these things are things that I purchased or Kickstarters that came in, or there's a book. There's some other random things. We're gonna get into it. Some of these things I was sent for review. Yeah, some I bought. You know, that's the rundown. We're a little. I'm a little hyper at the moment. I'm gonna try to like bring it down. Here we are. All right, let me just begin with the thing that's probably got me all hyper. I have prototypes in. I know you guys have seen these already. But it's a recent deck roundup, and like these did come in since the last time I made one of these. So I feel like this is my time to like show them off. These are the Sassy Dragons Classic Edition and the Sassy Dragons Not Safe for Work. These are just prototype prints. They are not the final version, but they're pretty darn close. And oh my gosh, look, it says supervised by Lisa. Oh my God. So if you didn't know, there's a pink dragon and a blue dragon. And just for funsies, that's basically a me dragon. Because look, it's a pink dragon with a unicorn headband on. You can tell by the double set of ears. Like, it's got a unicorn headband. And there's Peggy's dragon in her glasses. So cute. And then our two little doggos have been dragonified. Bruno and Shayla in the front. They're so cute. Look, like, is this project completely self-indulgent? Absolutely. Absolutely. But look at how freaking cute it is. It's the cutest. So the Classic Edition, if you don't already know, these are on Kickstarter right now. By the way, they are funding. We are actually, at the time I'm filming this, we are almost at one of our bonus stretch goals. If you don't already know, when this went live on Kickstarter, it funded in like 2 minutes. It is a deck that has the meanings written right on the cards. And it's really fun and playful and sassy. And the anatomy of the card basically is you have an image that is very much based on the Rider-Waite-Smith, but everything is adorable and dragonified and so cute. And then the meaning, the top half of the meaning is sort of like the sassy or playful part of the meaning. And then the bottom part of the meaning, which is the same across both editions, is a distilled down version of what this card would be telling you in a reading. That's one of our bonus cards. This is the bonus card for the Classic Edition. Other people's opinions of you are none of your business. But anyways, the bottom part is meant to give you a very succinct, very clear message right away. And then the top part is also part of the message, but it varies between the two editions. The Classic doesn't have any swears, and the NSFW has swears and naughty references and all kinds of things. But the idea is that you can sort of choose the level of sass you want. The Classic is like the regular level, where you could totally share this with family, clients, kids, whatever. Whereas the Not Safe for Work version has a lot of swearing. Where is it? So the bottom, that top bit of the message is much more naughty. Like your head belongs on your shoulders, not up their ass. Anyways, obviously you guys have seen this because I have done. If you've been watching my channel, you've seen this because I've done a full-on walkthrough. The Kickstarter's been up for a little over a week. Wait, are we at 2 weeks yet? What is time? I think we're at, I don't know. No, yeah, we're at 2 weeks. We're 2 weeks now. Anyways, punchline is, here we go. I think by the time you see this, we'll actually be at 3 weeks. So as you're seeing this, there is still time. Fuck around and find out for the Justice card is so perfect, in my opinion. There's really great. I love the bondage should be consensual, so revoke your consent for the Eight of Swords. I love that. Overthinking builds false barriers. Step back for perspective. I love the experienced fucks know best. I mean, I love this. I love this. And yes, I love this because there's so much of my wife's voice in this, but I also just love this because I just feel like it's so punchy and fun. And I've seen other decks come out that have like something sort of playful fun or even swearing on the cards. Like I won't name decks, but I've had decks in the past that had that vibe, but they were never quite right for me. Like they were never quite, they either went like kind of farther than I wanted them to go, or they went into areas I didn't want them to go. This just, it focuses on the empowerment message without going too far afield and has so much fun and so much playfulness. Great beginner decks, obviously super fun, easy to read. I'm just excited to have them in my hands. But anyways, this Kickstarter is still ongoing at the time you're seeing this, so definitely check it out if you're interested. Like I said, we're almost to our next stretch goal, which will be a digital spread booklet sort of thing. Peggy and I will put together some spreads. We will put together maybe a couple of activities that you can do with these decks, and that will be free for all backers. And then if we hit the stretch goal after that, there will be stickers. So very exciting stuff. Anyways, I'm so pleased to have these in my hands, and I have been working with them, so I've been waiting to show them in this video. Now they can get chucked back in my bag. I have been doing this thing. So there's a couple things, actually. For those of you curious who are like, have backed it but aren't decided on additions or whatever, I will say I have shuffled them together. I'm just going to show you real quick. It is totally doable because these cards aren't giant. Done. They're now shuffled together. And because they have different backs, they're easy to put back in their respective piles. But look how well they mixed on one shuffle. Like, pretty good. That's great if you don't mind having like a mega deck and you want to have like the opportunity for both. I was just checking on my candle. For both decks to come through. Like if you want to, like you might get repeating cards. So like if I pulled a reading with these in this state and laid out like, I don't know, 6 cards. We have 9 of Cups. Let me get the boxes out of the way. 9 of Cups, 3 of Wands, 6 of Swords, 8 of Cups, King of Swords, and Queen of Cups. So I didn't get any repeats, but you could in theory, right? Because I have, those are all classic, and the 2 NSFW and 4 classic, right? But what some people have been talking about in the Supportive Tarot Facebook group, which I think is actually really, really super smart, is instead of combining them into a mega deck, taking the 2 decks and like having them in order and just going every other card as classic or NSFW, or picking and choosing and swapping some classics in. And then you have basically, if you do it evenly, so that you have, like say you have the Ace or the Fool is classic, and then the Magician is not safe for work, and then the High Priestess is classic, and then the Empress is not safe for work, and you do that all the way through the deck, then you end up with 2 complete decks with a mix of both cards. So different chances of different cards coming up, which is also super fun. So I love both those ideas. So those of you who are on the fence, or you're like, I want to get both, but I don't know if I have a use case for both, that's one option. I like having both because I like the fact that I can have one version. I wouldn't say either version is particularly extra gentle. I mean, the classic might be a touch gentler simply because of the language, but they both have sass, they both have playfulness. But I would say that the big difference for me is in what places and times and opportunities I'm going to want to use it. I will also say that the classic ends up having more of that sort of, I mean, how do I say this right? Yeah, the classic does hit a little gentler now that I'm thinking about it. It does hit a little gentler. So when I need that softer voice, if I need it to not swear at me, or if I was like going to read for other people, I would probably just grab the classic unless I know them and know they would appreciate the language in the not safe for work. But I love these. I am obsessed with them. They're like, it was such a fun project, and it's one that I'm really proud of, and that's that. I will finish mixing these up off camera. I mean, separating them off camera. Anyway, very excited about these. Happy to have them in my hands. Super fun. Okay, another thing I wanted to talk about. This came in from a Kickstarter. This is a children's book called Adoroscopes. So some of you may know, actually, if you watch TikTok, you may have stumbled across the author and illustrator of this book, who is Paul Castle. I'll show you his picture because then some of you may recognize him, but he has a TikTok, and I used to watch his TikToks all the time. I saw this book come up and I just thought it was super stinking cute. Not only is this an adorable children's book that goes over all of the zodiac signs, calls them Adoroscopes, which is so cute. But in addition to that, this creator has RP, which is retinitis pigmentosa, which is a eye disease that runs in Peggy's family. And so I knew something about that disease. It causes blindness, but it's a tunnel vision sort of situation where it gets like your vision gets smaller and smaller. And so what I thought was really fascinating is that Paul is legally blind, as I understand it, and effectively blind, and actually to illustrate these basically had to zoom in super, super far in order to do each little detail, which is just wild to me. And he talks about his process in the Kickstarter campaign for this, but I backed this. I just thought it was so cute. I love an occasional children's book, and this one was just right up my alley. So, so adorable. So exactly as it says, Adoroscopes. There's even a little ribbon bookmark in this Kickstarter edition of the book. Love it. So I wanted to show that. Oh, I also got in some happy mail. So a very lovely kind soul sent me a unicorn, and I have to show it. I actually don't have anything like this. So in my unicorn stuff, I guess you could say, I don't have a lot in the way of like figurines. And this, it's funny, there was a Witch's Moon box that came out with a unicorn, but I didn't actually get that box. I had stopped getting them by that time. And I've kind of gone back and forth and had some regrets. But regardless, this showed up and I just thought this was the most thoughtful gift. This is like a vintage. You've probably seen these kinds of things around. I've never actually seen one at like a thrift store or anything, but I was so charmed to get this. This is exactly the kind of thing that is great to put on an altar space for me to represent that spirit element that I do work with. I just love this. But in my own collection, I have like a little crystal, like a little glass unicorn. I have unicorn stone. I have lots of unicorn art. But I don't actually have a lot in the way of unicorn figurines, which seems strange. You'd think I'd have a lot of that. I have a unicorn plate that was gifted to me also that hangs on my wall. So just some beautiful things, but not one of these. This is brass, I think. Not one of these brass figurines. And I am so excited about this. I thought it was really, really beautiful. It just takes me right back. This is the kind of thing that it's not something easily found nowadays. I feel like, I mean, maybe they are easy to find, but I was just obsessed and I love it. And he's beautiful and I love him. So yeah, love that. That was super sweet. Okay, let's talk about some things that also came in that I've talked about on the channel recently. So if you saw my video on My Friend Fire, I did get a little sample of some of the cards from the My Friend Fire companion deck to the Gentle Tarot by Mari in the Sky. I'm really excited about this, y'all. I don't think I'm going to work with this partial deck just yet. I may pull it in a little bit. I actually worked with the Gentle Tarot this month, and I paired it with something else. But I am excited once this whole deck is in my hands and I can play with it. I cannot freaking wait. It's really, really beautifully done. So if you missed that video, definitely check it out. It's on the channel, but I also have been working with and really falling in love with the linen edition of the Gentle Tarot. I think I misspoke actually in my Friend Fire video. This edition, which is the original linen edition of the Gentle Tarot, is staying as far as I know. The My Friend Fire, I believe if it was going to hit certain stretch goals, was going to be upgraded to a different type of linen. But I have to tell you, after working with this, I love this deck. It does not feel like inferior quality at all. It feels really lovely. It's got a linen finish, but it's a flexy, smooth cardstock with a really nice finish on it that does not feel super glossy or super matte. So everything glides really, really well. And this one is a little smaller than the standard edition of of the Gentle Tarot. And I absolutely love this size. I don't know why, but I feel like I'm going to use this deck so much more in this form factor than I was using it in the bigger form factor. And I did like the indie. I actually hesitated buying this for a very long time. And then it got gifted to me because I sat on the fence for that long. But I really sat on the fence too long. I really, really, really prefer this feeling as far as the shuffle, as far as how comfortable it is to use. And I feel like when the aesthetic experience of a deck matches the energetic qualities of that deck, it just makes the whole thing work better. So for me, obviously, y'all know I love linen cardstock. I love playing cardstock in general and how just nice it is on the hands. But one thing I definitely noticed with this is that the deck itself has such a gentle vibe, but the indie cardstock version of the deck is a stiffer shuffle for those of us who like to riffle. Now, a lot of people do hand over hand, and for hand over hand, you might prefer that thicker, sturdier feeling indie edition. But I freaking love this little linen one so much. I adore it. And it's just, like I said, it's made me want to reach for the deck more. I find myself working with it more. It's perfect for this time of year. So if you have the Gentle Tarot in this version to work with, I would definitely recommend it. You know what's also kind of growing on me is the Gentle Tarot Mini. Now, when I originally got this in, I actually backed this on Kickstarter. I ended up trading my copy or gifting it. I can't remember what happened to it. I let it go. But it came to me again when Mari sent me this little goodie box with all this stuff in it so that I could show the different editions. And I have to say, having this the second time, I kind of dig it. There's something about these, they almost feel, I don't know how to describe it. This is a stiffer shuffle than the linen by far. It's back to that kind of indie cardstock. Thinner, I think, than the original indie edition. But there's something about this size that, again, it just makes the whole deck feel more nurtury. And I think this might be something that I chuck into a self-care kit for myself when I need something, I need a little message, I need whatever. But with this, because I keep the guidebook, the original deck-sized guidebook I keep with my linen edition in my bag, I think what I'll do with this one is use it more once I have really more intimately gotten to know all of the cards. Like, I've worked with this off and on this deck in its full-size form for, gosh, how long's it been out? A long time, I feel like. But I typically have worked with it I typically have worked with it with its guidebook. And what I'd like to be able to do is get to a point where I'm not so reliant on the guidebook and I really sort of remember the stories in the cards. I just keep wanting to put it on the table. It's just so dang cute. So anyway, this version of the Gentle Tear on a Tin, I am not letting go of. This one is staying in my collection. But that did come in along with the linen and the little prototype deck, My Friend Fire. Okay, let's talk about, gosh, I don't know what order to do it. Okay, let's talk about a deck I bought since the last one of these. I finally picked up the Yuletide Tarot. Now, I think this came out last year. I think it came out in time for the holiday season last year. This is a really, really interesting Christmassy deck. In fact, let me grab the other Christmassy deck I have so I can show you for comparison's sake. The only other Christmassy or holiday themed whatever deck that I've had is this one here, and this is the Winter Weight Santa's Helper edition. So it's these candy backs, and I do find this a lot of fun to work with, but this is very much a classic Rider-Waite-Smith clone. I love the colors. It's very vibrant and fun. It's got Jack Frost instead of the Death card if you want to swap those out, but it's also got the Death card. I have them both in the deck currently, but I do prefer to read them separately. But it's basically, like you can see, right? Like, it's definitely not an exact dupe of the Rider-Waite-Smith, but it very, 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 very closely follows it. Love, Naughty, and Nice list for justice. It's fun, right? This is fun. This cardstock is a little stiff. It's that, like, yeah, it's a little stiff. This is from that Tarot Collectibles, I think is what they're called. Anyways, so this was my only holiday deck. I also have the little holiday expansion of the Cottage Witch Oracle that I put in here with this, but now I need to take this out because I think I might actually keep it with this instead. But anyways, so the story is that I was thinking about it, and I kept seeing this. I can't remember where. And I was like, you know what? I really need to pick it up. So it comes in this gorgeous Llewellyn packaging, like, you know, but look at this book. Look, she's chunky. And I love the way Llewellyn books smell. I'm such a nerd. But this is by Christopher Hughes with art by Erin O'Leary Brown. And it says here, on the shortest day and the longest night, my gift to you is the warmth of light. And I've already picked out a fabric that Peggy's going to make me a small drawstring bag for this deck, because these boxes are beautiful and they're nice, but they take up a lot of space. So I do store these somewhere else, like in bins, because I hang my decks on the wall typically. But I love these backings. This is very much like all the vibes of the holidays, without as much of the over-the-topness of it. It feels more spiritually rooted and less, I guess if I was to say the difference between this and the like Santa's Helper deck, Santa's Helper feels like the fun and excitement of like Christmas morning or like Christmas shopping or that kind of thing. Whereas this feels more like the heart and soul of the holidays for me. So let me zoom in actually and just show you a couple. But if you want to see a full walkthrough, I think this would be a really fun one to do a full walkthrough in December on the channel. So if you're interested in that, comment down below. As with any of the decks I'm showing, obviously, if I haven't already done a walkthrough and I show something and you want to see a full walkthrough, do let me know. But this is really great because it feels multi-traditional. It feels like it pulls in elements of like Yule and Christmas, but in a very secular way while still feeling spiritual. What am I trying to say? I don't know. This feels like the holiday season with heart. Yeah, that's what I'm going to keep saying because that's where it kind of hits for me. I really like it. And the suits are Gifts for the Pentacles. Hold on. I will tell you. Yeah, Gifts for the Pentacles. And then Good Cheer for the Cups. Canes for the Swords. Oh, is mine all mixed up? Oh, no. Did I already... Oh, no. Okay, wait. I forgot. This is organized numerologically rather. So, hold on. Let me do this again. Where do we start? We'll start with the aces. Yeah, so we have Candles for Wands, Good Cheer for Cups, Canes for Swords, and Gifts for Pentacles. There we go. That took way longer than it should have to come out my mouth. But check out the fabric. Peggy and I were at the fabric store, and I saw this, and I was like, I need this for my Yuletide Tarot. But look at how sweet this fabric is. Like, it's like this. It's the vibes of this. It's like holiday, but it's not that, like, glaring holiday. I don't know how else to describe it. So it's like trees and it's really nice. So anyways, look at how perfect this is going to be with it. It's going to be perfect, right? So I'm really happy. So Peggy's going to make me a drawstring bag for that. But I do think a good pairing for this is going to be the Cottage Witch Oracle, or at least some of the cards of the Cottage Witch Oracle. This is specifically like the holiday expansion cards. So if you haven't seen this, like look how cute. These are the holiday ones, or the winter season. And I think these are available, this particular expansion is available on Make Playing Cards. So I will try to remember to link that down below for you, but I think that's going to be really sweet. So I want to keep these together. So I think I'm going to try to be that person and mash them all into this box until my bag is ready. But then I think I'm going to keep them together. I just like the idea of working with them like at the same time. It'll work. It's just going to be a little like that. It's fine. Okay. Other things that came in. Okay, so also sent to me so that I can share it with you, and also seasonally appropriate, is the Winter Season Tarot. This is by Danielle Norman, who also has the Walking Meditation Tarot, and oh my gosh, Astral Mermaid, right? Yeah, I'm trying to think of the different ones. Anyways, this really excited me. So Danielle's sending this to me. No, this has me excited because it gives me another deck to work with over the winter. And I have decks that I feel like or just feel like spring or feel like autumn. I don't have a lot of decks that feel like winter. So we have that holiday one, which is great. But then what happens in like January, or when like we're really dealing with snow and ice and all the things, this feels like that season to me. Where I'm at, we don't start to see steady snow. I shouldn't say steady snow. I mean, like, we don't get steady snow. But like where I'm at, we don't start to see like true winter, I feel like, until we start to hit like January. December sometimes. But in any case, I suspect she's planning to do a seasonal series. Look at me being super behind. But anyway, this is really lovely production value, first of all. It's really nice cardstock. It's got that kind of like you know if you know. That's like that UV matte coating, I think. A really nice edge that matches the vibes of the deck. It's kind of this like silvery white, but it's matte. It's not that sharp metallic feeling. And then, yeah, it is edged, right? Am I making that up? Is it not? No, it's edged. I can feel that it's edged, but it's got that like little bit of a hint of like snowy sparkle to it. It's actually really pretty and delicate. The backs have snowflakes all over them. And then this is a deck of winter. Like, it's just so pretty. Look at this. But it's not devoid of like people and action in the cards. Like, things are happening. Look at this. Look at how gorgeous with all the snow. Especially, I feel like if you were to live in an area that doesn't get a lot of snow, this is just all the winter vibes. I love this strength card so much. Oh my gosh, I love all of them so much. They're so beautiful. The Hermit. Or excuse me, the Wheel of Fortune. I said the Hermit. I was thinking Wheel of Fortune, I swear. I just said the wrong thing. There we go. Justice. Perspective. Oh, so good. Temperance. Man, it's just... it is something. Look at the star. So I don't know what to call this. It's photography, but I think there's an element of like digital collage involved as well to sort of pull symbols in. Look at this Ace of Wands. Look at how she manages to get like fire even through the snow. I dig the vibes. Oh my gosh, a beach. Just like, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm escaping the winter entirely. That's amazing. I just think this is really, really beautiful. If you love looking at ice and snow, or you want something, look at the Cardinal as the Page of Wands. Are you kidding? Oh, are they all animals? Okay, sometimes I struggle with that, but hold on. We've got the Cardinal for the Page, the Bald Eagle for the Knight, this beautiful elk for the Queen. Elk? Deer? Gosh, I'm so bad, y'all. And a bear for the King of Wands. Okay. Oh, look at the Coco. That's amazing. Okay. Oh my God, they are ice diving. I'm not that brave. 3 of Cups, 4 of Cups. Okay, let's get to some more quartz. Okay, so we have a dove for the Page of Cups. That's brilliant. Polar bear for the Knight. It's like a leopard for the Queen. And a white wolf for the King. Oh, never count on me for animal identification, though. And then we have a blue jay or blue bird. I'm really bad at birds. Oh my God, the raccoon for the Knight of Swords is so perfect. A Canada goose for the Queen. That's incredible. And then we have a bison, buffalo for the King. Are bison and buffalo the same thing? I'm so sorry, y'all. I can't be trusted. And then we have, I love that we have all the messengers, like all the pages are all birds. Here we have a woodpecker, a beaver for the Knight. Snowy owls for the Queen of Coins is so good. And that's a moose for the King. That's amazing. And then we have sleigh riding Christmas. I'm excited to work with this. I think this is beautiful. I will have links, obviously, to everything I'm sharing down below, but check it out if it's your jam. There is little write-ups for every card, including upright and reversed meanings, and a description of what it is you're seeing on the card, pretty much. So, again, this is the Winter Season Tarot by Danielle Norman. And I'm so excited about this. This is going to be fun to work with in the next little bit. So I will keep you posted. If you didn't see, I am now doing monthly deck reviews. So that is where I come back to after I've worked with decks. I used to do this a long time ago on the channel. I'd have weekly deck reviews, but your girl is busy now. So we're going to do it monthly. But I will share with you sort of how everything read throughout the month, like what it was like to work with things so that you're not just seeing first impressions, but are also seeing how it all shakes out. So I will definitely be sharing that with you. Let me share something else I purchased, and then I'll share something else I was sent for review. So this was a fun little purchase. I spotted this actually on Benabel Wen's Instagram and kind of lost my mind a little bit. This is Foolish Fish. Oh my gosh, I'm not gonna be able to say this. Foolish Fishes, Folk and Fairy Tale Cards of Fate and Fortune. And if that is not a lot of alliteration, I don't know what is. Funny story, I don't really watch Foolish Fish's YouTube channel. I'm so sorry, Foolish Fish. But I have heard a lot about it over the years, and so I knew this would be decent to begin with, but I saw the premise and I just loved it. And can we just talk about the fact, so this came from Game Crafter. This comes in like this little flip tin. I don't know if there was multiple sizes of this. This is what I bought, and I'm so glad because this little flip tin makes me so happy. I don't know why. It's the little things in life. But this is like in fact, let me show you this next to, it's like a mini, but let me show you it next to here's the Gentle Tarot Mini, which is like tarot in a tin size. And then let me show you Sassy Dragons, which is a little smaller than tarot, just so you can kind of get an idea of the sizing. So like, this is Sassy Dragons, that's Gentle Tarot Mini. We'll do it this way so you can kind of see the size difference. So it's like taller, narrower. And then I'll show you, I don't know, what else do I have to show you that I can compare it to? Here's a little Llewellyn mini that I just happen to have right here, which is a little smaller still. So hopefully that gives you kind of an idea of the sizing. So a Llewellyn mini, then this fairy tale deck, then Gentle, then Sassy Dragon. So hopefully that's a good comparative for you for size. Just all the things on my table here. And it comes with like a tiny little pamphlet, which just tells you how to use it, that frankly I haven't read yet. But it's just a little like trifold, quadfold little pamphlet. This doesn't give you, I don't think, any meanings on the cards or anything. But here's what's cool about this, I think. I think it's one of those things you can read really intuitively. So this is what the backings look like. It's got this kind of parchmenty look. It looks, oh my God, so incredible. First of all, next to Unicorn's Journey Tarot, which was funny. That was not the reason why I purchased it. I just fell in love with it because I like the premise, which is basically, I'll show you it next to UGT, but the premise is basically you have the title of a story and a little snippet from that story. So here you have the Fairy of the Dawn, and it says, "Go and take care, for the way is long, the world is bad, and you hold something very precious." I think this is so cool because it's kind of like bibliomancy in a deck, but referencing old fairy tales. And am I all about that life? Yes, I am. But like, when I saw how this looked next to UJT and pulling in that element of story, so like, for example, here's the next card. Jack and the Beanstalk. So we have the Seven of Earth and the Queen of Fire. The Seven of Earth is kind of all about like waiting for things to finish, like sort of waiting to see how things are going to turn out. The Queen of Fire is all about showing up as like your fullest self and, you know, knowing your worth, all that kind of stuff. And then here Jack and the Beanstalk says, "But you showed an inquiring mind and great courage and enterprise, therefore you deserve to rise." It's like you put in the work, you waited, you did what you needed to do, you put in the effort, and now, yes, you get to stand there and rise. So powerful, right? Here's the Little Mermaid next to the Nine of Air, which is all about, of course, our fears, and the Wheel of Fortune. And it says, "It was all gloomy shade now, as she had ceased to tend her flowers, and the garden had become a neglected wilderness of long stalks and leaves, entangled with the branches of the trees." It was all in gloomy shade now, as she had ceased to tend her flowers. It's like, why are we so gloomy? Why are we so afraid? Why are we so worked up? Oh, because we haven't been tending to flowers. Things have been changing around us, and we haven't been putting the energy in. And like, look at this. Isn't this great? Beauty and the Beast, between the King of Fire and Temperance. At first, nobody would hear of this arrangement, but Beauty was firm, holding boundaries, right? Like the King of Fire. And like, you can just do this the whole way through, and it works so well. "Then said the king, what you have promised you must perform." Double sevens with the Seven of Water and Seven of Air, right? So cool. Anyways, when I saw this, I did not get this, like I said, so that it would go with UJT. But when I saw it next to UJT, I was completely like So excited. And I actually think this is going to go really cute next to the UJT Mini, as well as obviously the UJT Standard. You don't need much for this little guy, but I think it just hits. And because it's just snippets from stories, like Bibliomancy, you can kind of read into it whatever you need to read into it in that moment in a way that's meaningful to you. And I just think that is so cool. I think it's clever, and I'm excited about it. So again, that is the Foolish Fishes Folk and Fairy Tale Cards of Fate and Fortune. And yeah, I had no idea that this existed until I saw it on Bennabelle Wen's Instagram. So thanks, Bennabelle Wen, for showing it. And if you want to snap this up, like I said, like everything else, I'll have them linked down below. Just a sweet little indie guy. There's so many decks that this will pair nicely with. Just having that parchment look and just the books. I mean, like, I can think of so many things this will go well with. That's something I discovered having the Botanical Inspiration cards, is that they ended up going with just so many things. And I think the same is going to be true of this little guy. All right, next up is a goodie box I received from Aura Logic. Now, this is the creator of the Dusk and Dawn Lenormand. So they sent a whole like promo box with deck specifications and information. So we're just going to take a look at this stuff together. Now, this was on Kickstarter. The Kickstarter finished. Oh, and they also sent me their Revolving Time Oracle. So we're going to take a look at that. Oh, my cards have mixed up. That's my fault because I took the plastic off everything. Let me just separate these out. So what I didn't realize was that apparently on Kickstarter, somebody else told me this, I have not checked this, but apparently on Kickstarter, you couldn't back for just the Dusk or Dawn Lenormand decks. You had to get them both. I didn't realize that, but I do think they're both really beautiful. So I'm going to show those to you. This is just my little note. And there's also a cloth here, which let me show the cloth. And then there's their previous deck, which is the Revolving Time Oracle, which I'm going to show. It's actually really cool. It's not something I would have gotten for myself, but now that I have it, I'm like, ooh, I can see so many ways to use it. In any case, the cloth that they sent, I don't want to get my ashes here on it, but the cloth that they sent is one of those satiny scarf styles, but it's got timing, and it's got the Wheels of the Zodiac, and it's got moon phases. So again, if you're somebody that likes to cast, especially if you like to cast for time, that's kind of cool, because you can cast for seasons, you can cast for days of the week, you can cast for phases of the moon, so that's really neat. That is the cloth. Okay, now I have to get it back in to its little holder here, because I want to keep it nice, especially if I end up doing a giveaway or something in the future. So it never goes in as nice as it was to begin with, but I think I mostly did it. Anyway, so that's the cloth. And then these are the decks that we're just funding on Kickstarter. Like I said, I think the campaign is over, but I'm going to zoom in and show these to you. We'll do a quick flip through of all the cards because it's a Lenormand, so it won't take us too long before we move on to other decks. So if this isn't your vibe, then definitely feel free to skip ahead to the next thing that I'm talking about in this video. But as you can see, there's a dusk till dawn. There's like a daytime, nighttime vibe to these. I love the artwork. I think it's really fun. And something else that's really interesting, and I've never seen this on another Lenormand deck. I'm not saying it hasn't ever been done, but it has the astrological association. So here we have Gemini up in the corner and Mercury down below. I don't know where these associations come from, but I remember kind of taking a quick peek and thinking that they felt appropriate in most cases. So here we have also the playing card association in the corners. You can see it on the daytime has this sort of pale kind of taupey color in the border and in the symbols. And then it's the same color, but on black for the dusk version. So dawn and dusk, obviously. So we have Rider, we have Clover. The art is not duplicated across both. And I thought that was kind of cool. So sometimes when you see these kinds of things, you'll see the art is the same. It's clearly not. Like this is the day style ship, this is the night style ship, and they definitely have a completely different mood. These would be fun to work with, like light half of the year, dark half of the year for sure. The houses are different. This reads more goth, like more sort of spooky season almost. I love the light breaking through the clouds. Here we have the snake. And I don't know if I showed you the backs, but those are the backs. Really, really beautiful. Coffin, bouquet, scythe, very different vibes, right? Whip, birds. Love these macaws. Child. This child has like kind of a spooky face to me. I don't know, there's something about the face I'm not sure I'm fond of, but I love that child. Fox. Again, there's a soft quality. I don't know if I've said it yet, so I shouldn't say again, but there's this soft quality to the art that is just really, I really like. bear, star. Even though it says star, singular, there are clearly stars, plural, in the sky with one primary, like, sort of focal star. I do like that. I kind of prefer thinking of stars in the plural for Lenormand, but that works. Then we have stork, dog, same dog in both, but just in a slightly different appearance. Tower, garden. Oh, wait, this one's got an extra hour list. Does this not? Oh, that's out of place. They probably do both have an hourglass. Anyways, here we have garden. Very different gardens between both. Mountain. So again, it would have been easy for this creator to just like kind of duplicate but make one dark and one light. I've seen that done before in day-night decks, and that's not been done here, and I think that's really great. Crossroad. I don't get this crossroad the way I do this. This is clearly a choice between different rooms. This clearly feels like different paths. Both are a little more abstract than I would prefer for this card. Mice. Love that. They both got cheese. Heart. Ring, book. This is a closed book and this is an open book, which I think is interesting in the sort of Dusk versus Dawn version. This one says Little Women, which is kind of fun. Does this one actually have a title? I think this is War and Peace. That's interesting. So this is Little Women and this is War and Peace. Letter. Again, we have an open letter here and we have mail delivery here. So a slightly different vibe. You can read them the same. I mean, obviously. Here we have man. I do prefer this man. Just like I kind of preferred the child in the Dusk. Yeah, and I prefer this woman as well. They're both fine, but I prefer... Oh, and I definitely prefer the lotus as the lily. That really gives me something to use in readings. Sun, moon. I wish there wasn't like a traffic light in this moon card. I didn't notice that before. I don't like that. This scene would have been really, really pretty. I think that just feels very out of place, but I'm sure it has a meaning. I just don't know what it is, but so far I will say if I had to choose, I think I'd prefer the Dusk version. Here we have key, and they're both sitting in keyholes, so that's cool. Fish, anchor, cross. I love that cross more. Then we have mirror as a bonus card, and then we have hourglass, which is obviously like a timing reference. I think looking at the two, gosh, I feel like this, while you'd think I'd be more drawn to the light version, I think I'm actually drawn more to the Dusk version. I don't know. There's something, it's got a bit of a mood to it. It feels different. I preferred the path or crossroad card. Excuse me. I don't know. I think I might prefer this one, but I think they're both really beautiful and I'm not going to be in a hurry to do anything with either of them. I think they're both really neat. I can see a use case for incorporating both into a reading, especially to look at sort of surface level of something and then to dig underneath. That could be really cool. Love the bonus cards. I think both Mirror and Hourglass are really useful as bonus cards. I feel like they'd be very simple to read. Interesting, this mirror is actually broken. This one isn't. Oh, so curious. So let me look at the info sheet in case there's anything I should tell you that I haven't told you yet. Obviously, these are prototypes. That's probably the first thing. They will be coming with a guidebook in a box. These, like I said, are promos, and they will be gilded. So I believe rose gold and champagne gold gilding for the rose gold for, I'm guessing rose gold for the Dawn, and champagne gold for the Dusk deck. Yeah, Dawn is the white, Dusk is the dark. So here's what it says. Dusk till dawn represents from sunset to sunrise. Harnessing the theme of duality, I decided to create two interchangeable perspectives depending on different situations and readings you might come across. Bits of anatomy, we already talked about that. Yes. So the dawn, I don't know if you can read that. The dawn will have the rose gold and the dusk will have the champagne gold. It says, the words are reversed on the paper, but yeah, I read that right. And I guess that's basically it. So these will be available after Kickstarter as a set of 2. It does say here, decks will be sold as a set of 2. So I don't think you can get them individually. I do think that's a bummer. It'd be nice if you could get them individually, because I could definitely see people for whom one of these is going to resonate more than the other. But that is something to keep in mind. I will have a link down to the creator's website down below so you can check that out. So let's also take a quick peek at the other deck they sent, which is their prior deck, the Revolving Time Oracle. So I opened this to take the plastic off and was kind of surprised pleasantly by how this is set up. So this says discover yourself at your own time. And it does have a little guidebook here, which is very nicely laid out. Font's a little small, but it feels readable. Yeah. And then you have sort of keywords and things on the left. So the guidebook, very, very useful. Let's just get this out. Look at that, the details. So nice. I think these are just some like extra cards here in the back. Just like some little prints maybe. So you can see that this artist has a very consistent art style. You see the same art style in the Lenormand cards, and it works. So this is what the backings look like. You've got the hourglass. So this looks like the design that inspired that cloth we were looking at. It is edged in black. That's the thank you card, so we'll pull that out. Okay, here's what I think is really cool. So every card has, it feels like a very effective, like quick reader, because especially if you're reading on matters of time, this is an oracle, not a tarot, but the possibilities card is numbered 0, which I think is cool. So it has a keyword at the top. It has a message at the bottom. So possibilities, it says when you least expect it. So the timing associated with this card is literally when you least expect it. It is a yes card, and it is associated with the element of air. Okay, then we have another yes card. This one says manifest. Time is running fast. Also an air card. Intuition. Water, yes, time is hidden. Now, so far, these are mapping to the major arcana of tarot, right? Fool energy, magician energy, high priestess energy, growth, empress energy, yes, earth. Time is dependent on another factor. Here we have the 4. This is the emperor. It looks like it's associated with the emperor. So we have Aries season, yes, and fire. So again, we get a season, Taurus season, maybe, earth, wisdom. That's our Hierophant. So I'm seeing the tarot in these so far. It's going to be interesting where it goes to. How many cards are there? There's our card. Oh, wait, maybe they're only... Okay, so we're basically, I think we're going to have like major association, like major arcana associated cards, and then some other cards. Okay, so here we have connection, Gemini season, yes, and air. So that would be the lovers. Cancer season for the chariot, yes, and water. So if you're just pulling for a yes, no, maybe answer, or you want to know yes, no, maybe, and also no timing, this is going to give you all of that, which I think is really cool. I don't have any other decks in my collection that dip into timing. Strength is just strength for the keyword. Yes, fire and Leo season. No, Virgo season, earth, and solitude for the hermit. Yes, destiny. Timing is unavailable, but luck is on your side. Interesting. For water. Karma for the justice card. We have Libra season, neutral, air. Neutral also for the hanged one. We have surrender, expect delays with time, water. You know what's funny about this is that if you were to work with this for a while, it would definitely teach you a system of timing that you can use with the major arcana of your tarot, of any tarot deck, which I think is super cool. No. Metamorphosis, so this would be death. Scorpio season, which makes sense. Water. All of this makes sense astrologically with the major arcana of the tarot. It's super cool. Sagittarius, balance. Undecided, and fire, so that's temperance. Devil is temptation. Capricorn season, it's a no. And earth. Tower is a no. Ego. Time is moving unexpectedly and unavoidably. Fire. Star is faith. I love that. Yes, air, and Aquarius season. Moon is illusion. Water, no, and Pisces season. And also the artwork on this is just beautiful. Success for the sun. Earth, yes, and don't miss the opportunity when the time comes. Awakening, this is judgment. Time is not available. Yes, and fire. Completion, this is the world. Yes, earth, don't get too attached to time. And, or no, yeah, that'd be the world. Okay, then we have some additional cards that are numbered. Are they all numbered from here on out? They remain numbered to a point, to a 30-something. Up to 37, they remain numbered. So I'm going to just turn those over so I don't lose track. So then we have empathy, yes, spring season, water. Romance, yes, time for love, water. Compassion, yes, time to go with the flow, water. Control, yes, months, water. Inspiration, yes, fire and summer season. Energy, yes, time is moving quickly, fire. Determination, yes, stop wasting time, fire. Vision, yes, days and fire. So we have days and months. Grounding, maybe, fall season, earth. Strategy, maybe, be patient with time, earth. Practicality, yes, time to slow down, and earth. Abundance, yes, years. So we have days, months, years. Earth. Winter season, curiosity, yes, and air. Action, no. Time to charge forward, and air. Interesting. I wouldn't have normally, this one's confusing because it's a no card. It's the air element. It's action and it's time to charge forward. Those don't feel like no's to me. Action and moving forward doesn't feel like a no. That's a little dissonant, but I don't know if the intention is, and maybe with the guidebook I could spend some time and figure it out. I don't know if the intention with this deck is that you use it to either get a yes, no, maybe answer, or you get it to find timing, not necessarily both at the same time. But if like this was supposed to be both at the same time, that's very confusing. Anyway, then we have independence, maybe, time to clarify and seek within with air. And then we have integrity, maybe, weeks. So we have days, months, weeks, years, air. Okay. Then we have a day card, a night card, a past, present, future card, and a divine time card, moon phases, hope. I love this so much. Paper cranes just don't, after reading manacled, they mean something different to me now. Memories. I love this so much. Reflection. Inner child, self. I know we went through the whole deck. Breathe. I am just curious, okay, if it says, because this deck was completely outside of my radar. Yeah, I've always been seeking a deck to give me clear and direct answers, to answer timing-based questions, and a deck for affirmation. I studied the variations of time within tarot, astrology, and numerology, as well as drawn into my intuition to determine this system and style of reading. I wanted a deck that is multifaceted, flexible, and to add more layers and depth to my reading, so I decided to create one myself, and I hope you love it as much as I do, which is the best stuff comes out of that. Okay, so there is, when you're looking at the anatomy of the card, let's just go back to the beginning briefly here. The top part is, or the bottom part is the affirmation, right? Card layout. Affirmation or keywords, is that here? Decision reference. The card layout isn't helpful because it doesn't tell us what's what. So we have element of the card, astrological timing based on the reference, decision reference. So the affirmation / keywords, element, astrological timing based reference, and decision reference. Or is that an astrological based timing reference? I'm not sure. Oh no. Okay, so it talks about how to use a pendulum. There's some spreads. So let's look at the one that was confusing to me, because then we can check it out. So it was near the back, right? It was action, abundance, action. Okay, here's the one. So action is card 35. So let's just look at card 35 in the guidebook. Okay, so the numerological reference obviously is 37. So, 35, sorry. 35. So 8 is planning, planting, and harvesting and evaluation. So 5 plus 3 is 8. So they really pulled in numerology here. And then 35 is enthusiasm, motivations. They give you keywords for the numerology. The elemental reference is here. That's air. Logic, ideas, intellect, communication. Symbolically, the air element relates to knowledge, action, power, and change. It is a masculine energy that can lead by force and power, even though it remains unseen. The astrological timing reference is Aquarius, time to charge forward. Exercise fast thinking and immediate solutions. Know what you want and how to get it by defining and discarding what you are not. You are moving forward to what is by defining and discarding what you are not, you are moving forward to what is possible. The decision reference is no. This card indicates some heavy challenges coming your way. It's showing itself as a sign that it's time to take some thoughtful steps in order to protect yourself and control possible damage as much as you can. And then there's a quote here that says, dreams don't work unless you take action. The surest way to make your dreams come true is to live them. Interesting. So this says assertive, direct, impatient, daring, perfectionist, ambitious, focused. Yeah, this one is the most dissonant of the deck for me, but most of these make so much sense. Curiosity in the winter season, abundance and years. I mean, we get this slow moving kind of energy. This is really cool. So this really caught my attention. I know I ended up going down the rabbit hole. I'm so sorry. We're just going to be here for a million hours. That's fine. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I make long videos. If you're not new, then you already knew what you were getting into, so I'm not going to feel too bad. Anyway, it's a really cool deck. Like I said, I don't have anything else that dips into timing, and I think that's a really cool quality to this. I'm going to put these extra cards at the bottom, then the guidebook, then the cards. I don't know. I feel like this paired with something else, or if you had a specific yes/no question, or if you wanted to find out about timing, this would be really great for that. So it's a very straightforward deck, and I think that's awesome. The last thing I have to share is the Simdala Tarot. So this one came with some stickers. Oh my God, this is so cool. So I'm just going to put the stickers here like that. And there was also a coin. Where is it? Here it is. I didn't want to lose track of this. I have a spot where I keep coins. So this is a yes/no coin. So we have an obvious heads and tails. So we have the no side. This is the no side. Hopefully it'll focus. There we go. There's the no side. And then there is the yes side. So it looks like the yes side is the Empress maybe. And the no side is the Tower or Death. I don't know. We'll find out when we go through the deck. But anyways, this caught my attention. So this is by Jennifer Stidley, who did the Tarot Disassembled. And it's a round deck. I just thought this was really, really cool. And I thought it'd be neat to use for study, if nothing else. It's a really nice size for a round deck, actually. So again, let me show you well, like here's the Lenormand deck, which is like poker. So you can see it's not huge. Where's my UJT? And I'll show you a standard tarot size card for comparison. So here's the standard tarot size card, and here is the back of the Simdala tarot. So it's quite a bit shorter, which will, or should anyway, make it easier to shuffle than some of those big massive round decks. So we have a really nice guidebook, full color on the inside. Wow. Look at those gradients. This design is so beautiful. I just don't know if I'd have the patience. But gosh, that's really cool how that came out. And you got little bits of the mandalas at every card. Okay, that's cool. Anyway, what caught my attention about this is that this is like the Tarot Disassembled, but instead of it being just like laid out on a card, it's all turned into mandalas. I think this is the coolest thing ever in life. I happen to really like mandalas. I think they can be really powerful. These cards are ready, set, go to be basically sigils for you if you want. But what I like is that you get the power of the Tarot Disassembled, because the symbols, I should back up. The Tarot Disassembled was a deck. I'll try to put a picture up on the screen for you. It was a deck that showed, instead of like a cohesive scene, every individual component or major symbol of that card is broken out and laid out on the card like little individual pieces. What I think is cool about that is it helps you identify certain symbols that you might have missed otherwise. So for example, here in the Fool, we have the white dog, we have the white sun, we have the white rose and the red feathers, we have the satchel, the bird or the eagle that shows up on the satchel, the mountain, what is the red? It might be clouds, I'm not sure. But, so you have all the symbols sort of laid out. So you can sort of start to pick those things out and go, oh, that's what's in the card. Okay, okay, okay. There's the stick from the card. So anyways, you have the title of the card. And then on what I like about this is really cool. You have the astrological and it's labeled. Astrological is Aries. Planetary is Uranus. Element is air. Tree of Life association is Keter. That's the crown. And Hakma, which is wisdom. And then oh gosh, what does that say? The activation, that says activation, is initiation. So that's a lot of information in the border of the card that you can reference. Again, for study, I think that's really cool. So for the Magician, we have Virgo, Gemini, planetary is Mercury, element is air, tree of life is Keter, crown, and Bina, understanding. And then the activation is will. And it tells you, well, like activates the energy of this card, right? And then again, we have the symbols. We have the white lily, the red rose, the lemniscate, all 4 tools of the minor arcana, plus the special wand that the main character holds up in this card. So it's really cool for study, especially if you just want to know what are the important symbols in the card. And then you can kind of deep dive into and study those, which I think is really great. We have the throne of the emperor here. So if we go a little further down into the minors, here we have the Knight of Cups. We have his horse, wings, armor, the cup, the water. Really, really cool. I don't know if this is going to turn out to be, let's actually go to the Page of Cups. Yeah, we have the fish in the cup, the blue feather, the white lotus. I don't know if this is something that I would use to read with, or if I would use this to study with, or if I just wanted to collect it, if I'm being completely honest. I just thought it was really cool and well put together. And while I had at one point a copy of the Tarot Disassembled in my hands, I didn't end up keeping it because it wasn't, I have a brain that wants things to be orderly on the cards, and it was very neatly laid out, don't get me wrong. But with this, it's in a beautiful, like pleasing to the eye, symmetrical pattern that just I like to look at. So it was funny when she first started working on this deck. I don't know if she originally planned for it to be a deck, but she was just playing around with the symbols, and she turned one of them into a mandala. And I think her Instagram post at the time was something like, oh, I'm just playing around. And I could not heart on that post fast enough. I was just like, oh my gosh, I love that so much. Page of Swords. Yeah, it's really, really cool. 3 of Wands. But if you wanted a deck that has, again, the symbols, all the elements, all the astrological, and the Tree of Life associations, I mean, hello, this is perfect. This might also be a really cool tool to pair with other decks. Like pairing this deck next to, say, the Thoth might be really, really, really cool for illuminating things that maybe you didn't notice about that in the first place. I think that could be really cool. So the guidebook, when you get into it, it literally has the activation, So in the case of this card, which is the Seven of Cups, like look how nice this is laid out. Anyway, the definition, the etymology, so it tells you where this word comes from. The options and the meaning of the card. Basically, the options are numerous when the Seven of Cups is present, talks about what it means. But then over here you have keywords, symbols, so it names every single one so you know what it is. And then it renames the astrological planetary elemental tree of life, and then quick takes. So a multitude of options abound, wishful thinking, choose carefully, all that shimmers is not gold, stop fantasizing and take action, smoke and mirrors, discerning a reality from fantasy, not choosing is still a choice. Really love that. Really, really love that. So yeah, that is how the guidebook is laid out. Very cool. I just think this is neat. Like sometimes that's all it takes for me is just, it's neat. So that is the, I don't like how I did this. I did this. No, I did this right. Yeah, I did this right. I was just putting the lid on backwards. Okay, anyways, that is the Simdala Tarot. This box style is really cool. Like it's nice and firm, so it's not going to like come apart super easy. Look at the rainbow. But the little peekaboo in the center, like that just looks really neat. Perfect for a round deck. Anyways, so there was stickers. I think one of these, I think it's the sun, was going to be random. So I have, I'm guessing, I don't know, it's flowers and it's pretty. I don't know. That's got to be the Six of Wands. That's the High Priestess, and that's Strength. So there we go. So cool. Anyways, I'm really excited about all this. And the coin is going to go in my little divination box here. This is where I keep my coins. So it's going to go in there, which is great because now I definitely have, not counting my big roots and wings coins, so just my metal coins. And I have another one as well that's somewhere else right now. But I have a Pooh coin, an Oak Ash and Thorn coin, which is so freaking cute. Or is this Thistledown? No, that's Oak Ash and Thorn. And then a Simdala coin. And then I can't remember what deck I got this one with, but these are all specific to specific decks, so that's cool. And I wanted 3 because then I can use them for I Ching readings. Because I'm a nerd. This is also where I keep my little pendulums and things. Anyway, let's put that away. All right, my friends, thank you so much for hanging out with me for this month's recent deck roundup. Things have been mostly a little quiet in the decks coming in sphere as I've been very, very busy lately, but somehow I still managed quite a little haul. So thank you for hanging out with me. As always, there will be links to everything down below. Please don't forget that Sassy Dragons Kickstarter is ongoing until Sunday, November 20-something. So make sure if you are interested in getting in on this Sassy Dragons action, you check that out before then. We appreciate the support so much. To everybody who sent goodies, thank you so much. And if you want to see detailed walkthroughs of anything that I didn't already manage to walk through during this video, let me know down below. I'd be happy to do that. And until next time, y'all, may your magic always shine from the inside out. Bye.